California police have arrested a suspect in the double homicide of American Idol executive Robin Kaye and her husband, Thomas DeLuca. Carter Evans has the latest from Los Angeles.
In the glittering world of American television, where dreams are manufactured and stars are born under blinding stage lights, a darkness lurked just beyond the camera's reach. This is the story of ambition, legacy, and a crime so brutal it would forever alter the landscape of one of America's most beloved entertainment franchises. Behind the curtain of fame, where millions tuned in weekly to witness ordinary people transform into household names, a tragedy was unfolding that no one could have predicted. This is not just a story about celebrity judges or aspiring singers. This is a story about the people who made the magic happen from the shadows and the devastating price one couple would pay for their success. What you are about to hear will challenge everything you thought you knew about the entertainment industry, about safety, and about the hidden dangers that exist even in the most protected spaces. The triumphant return as summer begins to fade and autumn approaches in the year 2024, the entertainment industry buzzes with familiar excitement. American Idol, the groundbreaking talent competition that has launched countless careers and captivated audiences for over 2 decades, prepares to embark on its 24th season. The announcement arrives with fanfare that echoes across social media platforms and entertainment news outlets from coast to coast. 3 names dominate the headlines, 3 faces that have become synonymous with the show's recent renaissance: Luke Bryan, Lionel Richie, and Carrie Underwood. The trio's return signals continuity in an ever-changing television landscape where reality shows rise and fall with alarming frequency. Luke Bryan, the country music superstar known for his charismatic presence and genuine warmth, has become a fan favorite among the judging panel. His ability to connect with contestants on a personal level while delivering constructive criticism has earned him respect from viewers and participants alike. He brings an authenticity to the role that resonates with audiences, never forgetting his own journey from small-town Georgia to stadium-filling success. Lionel Richie, the legendary musician whose career spans decades of timeless hits, brings wisdom and industry experience that few can match. His insights into the music business provide contestants with invaluable guidance as they navigate their own paths to stardom. When Richie speaks about the challenges of maintaining relevance in an industry that constantly chases the next big thing, contestants listen with rapt attention. His presence on the panel represents a connection to music history, a living reminder that true artistry transcends trends and fads. But perhaps most compelling is the return of Carrie Underwood, a woman who knows the American Idol journey from the inside out. In season 4, she stood on that very stage, her voice trembling with nerves and hope, her future uncertain. She was just a small-town girl from Oklahoma with a dream that seemed impossibly large. Now, as a multi-platinum recording artist and one of country music's biggest stars, she occupies the judge's chair, offering mentorship to those who walk the same path she once traveled. The symbolism is not lost on anyone watching. Here sits living proof that the American Idol dream is real, that the journey from small-town hopeful to international superstar is possible. In a recent interview, Underwood reveals something both touching and haunting. She confesses that even now, years after her victory, she still dreams about auditioning for the show. In these dreams, she finds herself back at square one, standing before the judges, her fate uncertain despite having already achieved what so many contestants desperately seek. The confession offers a window into the psychological weight of competition, the way pressure and expectation can burrow deep into one's psyche and remain there, dormant but ever present. Even a superstar like Carrie Underwood cannot entirely escape the anxiety of that formative experience. It is a reminder that success does not erase the memories of struggle, that the climb to the top leaves marks that never fully fade. The audition process for season 24 reflects the changing times and technological adaptations born from necessity. Hopefuls from all 50 states, plus Washington, D.C., are invited to showcase their talents via Zoom, a platform that has become ubiquitous in the post-pandemic world. The virtual format means that talent from remote corners of America, from small towns that might never have been included in traditional touring auditions, now have equal opportunity to be heard. A singer in rural Alaska has the same chance as someone in Los Angeles or New York. It democratizes the process in ways that would have been unimaginable when the show first premiered in the early 2000s. American Idol has always been more than just a singing competition. It represents possibility, the fundamental American belief that talent combined with determination can overcome any obstacle. For millions of viewers, the show provides an escape, a weekly dose of inspiration and hope in a world that often feels dark and uncertain. It is a reminder that dreams can come true, that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things. But as preparations for season 24 continue, as judges prepare their critiques and producers finalize their schedules, as contestants rehearse in their living rooms and bedrooms across America, a darkness approaches that will test the very foundation of this optimistic narrative. The woman behind the music behind every successful television production exists an army of unseen professionals whose names rarely appear in headlines, but whose contributions prove essential to the show's success. These are the producers who work 18-hour days, the coordinators who juggle impossible schedules, the music supervisors who shape raw talent into primetime entertainment. Among these dedicated individuals, Robin Kaye stood out as someone truly exceptional, a professional whose passion and expertise elevated everything she touched. For over 200 episodes spanning multiple seasons, Kaye served as music supervisor for American Idol, a role that demanded both creative vision and practical expertise. She was responsible for selecting songs that would showcase contestants' abilities while resonating with audiences sitting in their living rooms across America. She worked with artists to arrange performances, coordinated with musicians and sound engineers, and helped create those magical television moments that viewers would remember for years. Her colleagues describe her as passionate, dedicated, and possessing an uncanny ability to recognize what would work on screen. She wasn't just doing a job, she was helping to build dreams, one performance at a time. Kaye understood something fundamental about American Idol that many outsiders missed. The show was never simply about finding the best singer, the person with the most technically perfect voice. It was about storytelling, about creating emotional connections between performers and audiences. Each song selection, each arrangement, each musical moment had to serve that larger narrative. A ballad chosen for the wrong contestant could fall flat. An up-tempo number performed at the wrong moment could disrupt the show's emotional flow. Kaye excelled at this delicate balancing act, understanding both the technical requirements of television production and the emotional needs of the audience watching at home. Her work touched countless lives in ways that few outside the industry could fully appreciate. Contestants who went on to achieve fame often credited the guidance and support they received during their American Idol journey, and Kaye was frequently mentioned in those expressions of gratitude. While judges provided critique and advice in front of the cameras, it was professionals like Kaye who worked behind the scenes to ensure that each performance reached its full potential. She helped nervous singers find confidence when they doubted themselves. She suggested song choices that transformed careers, picking tracks that allowed contestants to showcase dimensions of their talent they hadn't known existed. She was, in every sense, a dream maker. Her influence extended beyond individual contestants to shape the show's overall musical identity. American Idol had to balance contemporary hits with classic songs, please younger viewers without alienating older demographics, showcase different genres while maintaining cohesive programming. Kaye navigated these challenges with skill and artistry, creating musical experiences that appealed to the broadest possible audience. Her contributions were invisible to most viewers, but they were absolutely essential to the show's continued success and cultural relevance. Kaye's partner in life was Thomas Duca, her husband and companion in a marriage built on mutual support and shared dreams. Together, they had built a life in Encino, California, residing in an upscale gated community that offered both privacy and security. The neighborhood was everything they had worked toward, a reward for years of dedication in the demanding entertainment industry. Tree-lined streets, well-maintained properties, neighbors who were professionals like themselves. Their home represented success, a sanctuary where they could retreat from the chaos and pressure of Hollywood to find peace and comfort. From the outside, everything appeared idyllic, picture perfect. They were living the California dream, surrounded by the trappings of success, seemingly safe behind the walls and security gates of their exclusive neighborhood. July 10th begins as an ordinary day, unremarkable in every way. The Southern California sun bathes Encino in warm light, the temperature perfect, the sky clear and blue. Kaye and Duca go about their routine, running errands, living their lives with no awareness of what is coming. They visit a grocery store, selecting items for their household, engaging in the mundane activities that comprise everyday existence. They navigate the aisles, perhaps discussing dinner plans or upcoming work commitments, maybe laughing about something trivial. They are just two people living their lives, making plans, thinking about the future. There is no indication that anything is amiss, no warning of the horror that awaits. No ominous music plays in the background of their lives, no dark clouds gather overhead. They return home with their groceries, pulling into their driveway, unlocking their door, stepping into the sanctuary of their private space, expecting nothing more than an ordinary evening. What happens next will shock the nation and forever alter the American Idol community in ways that no one could have anticipated. The discovery 4 days pass. 4 long days, during which Robin Kaye and Thomas Duca fail to respond to messages, miss scheduled commitments, and simply vanish from their normal routines. In the entertainment industry, where schedules are tight and communication is constant and expected, such silence is highly unusual. Kaye was known for her reliability, her promptness in returning calls and emails. When she goes silent, people notice. Concerned friends and colleagues attempt to reach them repeatedly, but their calls go straight to voicemail. Text messages remain unread, the blue checkmarks never appearing. Emails pile up without response, inquiries about projects and meetings going unanswered. Something is clearly, terribly wrong. Finally, after multiple failed attempts at contact and growing concern, authorities are contacted to perform a wellness check at the couple's Encino residence. Officers arrive at the gated community, their presence drawing curious glances from neighbors who have never seen police cars on their quiet streets. They approach the house, knock on the door, receive no response. They peer through windows, call out, try to rouse anyone inside. When they finally gain entry to the home, what they discover inside defies comprehension. Kaye and Duca are dead, their bodies having lain undiscovered for days in the home they had made together. The scene that greets investigators is one of violence and tragedy that will haunt them for years to come. Both victims have suffered multiple gunshot wounds, their lives ended in moments of terror and pain. The brutality of the attack is immediately apparent to the seasoned detectives who have seen countless crime scenes. This was not an accident, not some tragic misunderstanding. This was not a case of wrong place, wrong time. This was execution-style murder, carried out with a level of violence that suggests rage, calculation, or some terrible combination of both. The timeline of events becomes crucial to understanding what happened. Kaye and Duca were last seen returning from their grocery shopping trip on the afternoon of July 10th. Their car captured on security cameras as it entered the gated community. The murders occurred shortly thereafter, likely within hours of their return home. But who committed this heinous act, and why? What could possibly motivate someone to execute 2 people in their own home? The questions multiply faster than the answers, creating a puzzle that seems impossible to solve. The shocking twist as investigators work around the clock to solve the double homicide, pursuing every lead no matter how small, a bizarre twist emerges that adds another layer of complexity to an already confusing case. Police records reveal that they received multiple reports of suspicious activity at the Kaye, Duca residence on July 10th, the same day the couple was murdered. These reports include claims of burglary, of disturbances, of something being terribly wrong at the home. The timing is too coincidental to ignore. Most disturbingly, one of these calls comes from a 22-year-old man named Raymond Bodarian. Bodarian contacts 911, his voice reportedly frantic and fearful, claiming to be in danger at the residence. During the call, he utters a phrase that will later take on chilling significance. when investigators review the recordings. "Please don't shoot me." His performance is convincing enough, his fear apparently genuine enough, that police initially treat him as a potential victim or witness to whatever has occurred at the residence. But as the investigation progresses methodically, as evidence is analyzed by forensic experts, as detectives piece together phone records and timeline and witness statements, as the full picture begins to emerge, a shocking realization dawns on investigators. Bouderian is not a victim at all. He is their prime suspect. The audacity of calling police while allegedly being responsible for the very crime being investigated stuns law enforcement and the public alike. What would motivate someone to engage in such brazen, seemingly irrational behavior? Was this an attempt to establish an alibi, to position himself as an innocent party caught in someone else's crime? Or was there something more complex at work? Some psychological need to insert himself into the investigation, to play a role in the drama he had allegedly created. Bouderian is arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder. The evidence against him appears substantial and compelling, though many details remain sealed as the case proceeds through the legal system and prosecutors build their case. Court documents reveal that authorities believe they have a strong case, built on forensic evidence, phone records, and witness statements. But the public is left with more questions than answers, hungry for details that may not emerge until trial. The arrest raises troubling questions that investigators are still working to answer, questions that may take months or years to fully resolve. What was Bouderian's connection to Kaye and Duca? Did he know them personally, or were they complete strangers to him? Had there been previous interactions or conflicts that escalated to this horrific conclusion? What possible motive could drive a 22-year-old to commit such extreme violence against a couple who worked in television production? The lack of obvious motive makes the case even more disturbing. Social media explodes with speculation as amateur detectives and true crime enthusiasts dissect every available detail. True crime communities on Reddit, Twitter, and Facebook construct theories that range from plausible to outlandish. Some suggest mental illness, pointing to the seemingly irrational decision to call police after allegedly committing murder. The behavior does seem to suggest someone not thinking clearly, someone whose grasp on reality might be tenuous or fractured. Others wonder if this was a calculated attempt to deflect suspicion, the act of someone who believed they could outsmart the system through audacity alone. Still others theorize about darker possibilities that speak to our contemporary cultural moment. Could Bouderian have been seeking attention, desperate for the kind of fame or notoriety that our celebrity-obsessed culture provides even to those who achieve recognition through terrible acts? In an era where mass shooters and serial killers become household names, where true crime content dominates streaming platforms and podcasts, where infamy can bring a twisted form of celebrity, could someone decide that notoriety is better than obscurity? The thought is deeply disturbing, but investigators cannot rule out any possibility in their search for truth. The questions hang in the air, unanswered and troubling, as the legal process slowly grinds forward. Bouderian sits in jail, awaiting trial, while prosecutors build their case and defense attorneys prepare their strategy. The families of Kaye and Duca wait for justice, for answers, for some way to make sense of a senseless act that has shattered their world. A community in mourning, news of Robin Kaye's death spreads rapidly through the American Idol community, like wildfire through dry brush. Colleagues who worked alongside her for years struggle to comprehend the tragedy, to reconcile the vibrant person they knew with the horrible reality of her death. How could someone so vibrant, so dedicated, so essential to the show's success be gone? The question echoes through production offices and studio halls. Contestants whose careers she helped launch express shock and grief on social media, sharing memories of her kindness, her professionalism, her genuine investment in their success. Fans of the show, many of whom had never heard Kaye's name before, but who had been moved by performances she helped create, take to Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook to express their condolences and learn more about the woman behind the music. The tributes pour in steadily, painting a portrait of a woman dedicated to her craft and beloved by those who knew her. One colleague describes her as the heart of American Idol, stating that it's difficult to imagine the show continuing without her influence and guidance. The sentiment is echoed by others who worked with Kaye over the years, each sharing their own memories of her dedication and talent. Another tribute reads, "Robin made dreams come true for so many. She deserves to be remembered not just for the tragedy, but for her heart." These words capture the collective desire to honor Kaye's legacy beyond the horrific circumstances of her death, to ensure that she is remembered for her life and contributions rather than simply as a victim. The entertainment industry, often criticized for its superficiality and cutthroat nature, shows a more human face in the wake of this tragedy. Discussions about safety, mental health, and the hidden pressures faced by those who work behind the scenes begin to emerge across industry forums, trade publications, and social media platforms. For years, the focus has been on contestants and judges, on the visible faces that America sees each week during primetime broadcasts, on the people who become famous. But Kaye's death highlights the countless individuals whose names don't appear in opening credits, but whose contributions make the magic possible, who work long hours in the shadows to create the entertainment that millions enjoy. As American Idol prepares for season 24, the mood is understandably somber throughout the production. Auditions proceed as scheduled, because production schedules wait for no one and commitments have been made. But the usual excitement and energy are tempered by grief and reflection. Contestants arriving for their chance at stardom find themselves stepping into a community in mourning, navigating an emotional landscape they never expected. Some feel awkward, unsure how to balance their own excitement about the opportunity with respect for the tragedy that has occurred. Should they express their joy at being there? Or would that seem insensitive? It is a difficult balance to strike. Judges who had worked with Kaye must somehow compartmentalize their pain and continue the process of evaluating talent, the memories that matter, the legacy that endures beyond violence and loss. This story is not just about two victims and an alleged perpetrator. It is about the hidden costs of fame, about the vulnerability that exists even in supposedly safe spaces, and about the fragile nature of the lives we build. It reminds us that entertainment, for all its escapism and joy, is created by real people with real lives, people who deserve to be remembered, honored, and protected. It challenges us to think about those who work behind the scenes, whose contributions make our entertainment possible. If this story moved you, hit that subscribe button right now to stay informed about developments in this case and other stories that matter. We need your support to continue bringing you in-depth coverage of the stories behind the headlines. And we want to hear from you in the comments.